Alrighty. Good morning, everyone. Tamara Diane here, your boss exec. I'm super excited about today's spotlight. We're going to be talking about what you can expect for our 2015 I Am Boss conference that's taking place in August 2015 through the 21st through the 23rd. And we're going to be talking about what you can expect from two of our wonderful speakers and workshop presenters. And so we're super excited. We have Ty. I can see you now. Yay. So
Yay! Okay, great.
awesome. Awesome. So, all right. Give me 1 second. I'm getting some feedback here. And we're going to fix that problem. All right, there we go. I had my other computer running, making sure that we were good, and it was giving me some feedback, but I think we're awesome now. All righty.
Great.
Cool beans. So let's talk about your company first, and then we'll kind of go into the presentation that our attendees can kind of expect to get from you. So just kind of tell us a little bit about yourself, anything that you want our viewers to kind of know, some tidbits, how to get in contact with you, all that good stuff. So I'm going to just go ahead and give you the floor.
Awesome. Good morning, everyone. I'm super excited to be chatting with you all today, as well as at the upcoming conference in August. My name is Ty McKenzie. I operate a public relations and marketing firm in Jacksonville, Florida. That's where we are headquartered, but we work with clients all over the U.S. I've been in the industry now for about 10 years. I started out working in government, so it's a little different from what I do now, but I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time with government. It taught me a lot. Anyone who's ever worked with a government agency knows that, you're not on the job. A lot of things that may not be written in the description. That's one thing that has helped me as a small business owner and entrepreneur. I've been operating my business now for about 4.5 years here in Jacksonville, and we work with a lot of startups, those who are developing their business, doing startup coaching, but we also have those more established clientele, some recording artists, some larger companies, helping them expand their brands, launch their new products. We do a lot of work with ministries as well, a lot of churches, helping them understand how to build their social media marketing team, as well as share their message with their members, as well as others in the community and all over the world. So, it's something that I love to do. I love helping churches as well as other entrepreneurs as well. So I'm excited to chat with you all today. And my name on all social media networks is Ty B Max. So that's TYBMCK. So that's wherever you find me, that's my name.
I love it. So let's talk about the importance of having a social media presence really quickly. I know that myself included, especially if you're a solopreneur or you're just getting started, you don't know what the heck to do online. You're like, everybody's telling you you need to be on social media, but you're just like, okay, I'm here now. What do I do? So if you had to kind of give three takeaways for business owners, what would those three be in regards to being present on social media?
Okay, I lost you, but I think I got the question. Was it 3 tips for social media, like when you're starting, how to figure out, I've started my account, so what do I do now?
Exactly, exactly. For the
Okay,
business owner who's trying to grow their brand, like you were saying.
perfect. Okay, one thing that I always tell everyone is you need to be where your customers are, where your clients are. So, what you need to find out first is where is your customer? For some businesses, Instagram may work well. If you have a product, something that's more visual, Instagram is definitely where you would need to be. For those who are speakers and you are your brand yourself, so you are the person that's trying to get booked as a motivational speaker, what you should not be on YouTube, have a heavy presence there. So what I always tell people is that you do on social media outlets, figure out who your customers are first. So that's the first step. Figure out your customers. The second step is to Identify the looks that you want to have on. So create a plan, have that voice going to translate. Be very, very intentional about everything you post and share online. Nothing should be haphazard. It should be a plan. You should know what's coming out on Friday. Not saying that you can't, express things that come up before then and you can't respond to current events. But when you're managing your brand, a lot of people make accidents, Fortune 500 companies on down. You mess up when you just post something kind of tongue in cheek on a whim, and then you're like, oh, wait, I didn't think it would get that type of reaction. So you definitely need to create that schedule and map things out all the way. And then the next thing that you need to do is take a look at your industry and see what's going on with the industry as well. So those industry leaders, what are they doing? What social networks are they participating in? If no one in your industry really has a heavy presence on Pinterest, that may be a good or a bad thing. Find out the why. I'm not saying don't do it if no one else is on your industry is doing it, because you may be, the next innovator. However, you don't want to, okay, well, I have 5,000 followers on Pinterest, but I'm not getting any engagement. Well, the Pinterest audience is very DIY. It's a lot of women on there. So if your product isn't catered towards that audience, you won't get the engagement that you like.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, so just to recap, so first we're going to figure out where our customers are in the Twitterverse, Instagram universe, all that good stuff. So once we figure out where they are, that's where we should be. And then afterwards,
Absolutely.
figure out what message we want to give to our followers and our potential clients and things like that. Making sure that we stay true to our brand, if just making sure I got all the points. And then also figure out what those thought leaders or those industry leaders are doing, and find the why. If there is, something that they're doing very well, to, I guess, govern yourself accordingly, and then otherwise, and also kind of be an innovator in that space. Did I kind of get those 3 points?
Perfect.
Awesome. Cool beans. Well, let's talk about your presentation and what our participants that are going to be attending our workshops during our conference can expect from you.
Absolutely. The presentation for the conference is based on a book that I recently published, which is called The Book of Branding, A Christian's Guide to Successfully Creating and Marketing a Business. And one thing that I found working with a lot of churches or a lot of entrepreneurs who are Christians is that there are a lot of biblical principles that are aligned with business principles that people miss. So what I've found helpful is that if you show that link between them, I'm giving you a business principle, but it also has a biblical foundation to help you build and grow your business and marketing. Marketing is not a bad thing. It's not, something that Christians shouldn't do. It's not something that churches shouldn't do. Marketing is essentially evangelism. So while it's not a preachy session, it is something that is not only challenging for your business to help you grow, but it's also motivational. So for those who are Christian business owners, they will feel encouraged and inspired, and kind of sometimes it's just you need that push to the next level. You need, okay, well, that was rough, but I need somebody to kind of push me, and then now I can fly. So that's what this session is going to be about. One of my clients said in one of my recent seminars, she said that I do a lot of spankings with a kiss, and I kind of like that, because that's what it is. I want to help you. I want to say, okay, well, this isn't quite it, but at the same time, I love what I do. I love my clients, love everyone I'm in contact with. So I don't say, hey, this is wrong. It's no, okay, let's not do this, but this is the way to do it, because I help you grow. I want.
Absolutely. Okay, you kind of cut out there in the middle, but I just wanted to kind of piggyback on what you were saying. In the Christian entrepreneur space, I think that we struggle a lot because we are either one side or the other. We're so kingdom minded that we forget about our business, or we're so business minded that we forget that, in essence that we're Christians when we're doing business. And I think that a lot of people view that as a bad thing when you do bring it together. But I always tell people that I think it kind of goes over our head when we realize that there are so many biblical principles that can be applied to business to have your business grow, that your business is really your ministry. And I'm super excited about your workshop because it teaches how to allow your marketing to be your evangelism tool, which is amazing. I think when you connect the two together, I know that God is pleased and that we'll really experience exponential growth once we actually put those principles to use, I think. So I'm super excited about your seminar.
Absolutely, absolutely. I love it. One of the things that I teach and share often, and it's in my book as well as the scripture and Proverbs, the message translation says, a stingy planter gets a stingy crop. So I share that with a lot of entrepreneurs because sometimes, especially startups, like, oh, well, that's expensive and I don't want to, invest in. Well, if you cut down on some of your other expenses and invest into your business, you'll reap that harvest. But if you spend pennies on it and expect a great reward, that's not logical and that's not biblical either. So I'm excited about it as well. I love teaching on this thing, and I'm just grateful for the opportunity to connect with you and share at the conference.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, let's transition. I know Sharon's you just buzzed in. How are you doing this morning?
Well, this morning I'm well, and I do apologize. I was on the line and just did not hit the join button.
That is quite all right, quite all right. Well, let's take a moment and kind of introduce yourself and, let us know a little bit about you, about your business, and then we can kind of move over to what we can expect for your seminar.
Wonderful. I own KFB Business Consultants, been owning that for a few years now. Been in the business field all my life. Um, Basically, what we do is I work with startups. My niche that I've carved out in the business is basically working with women. Now, the whole company works with anybody, men or women. But my niche I found being with women because it seems as though it's not that we don't know what we're doing, but we're kind of the last ones to ask for help, even though we're the ones that always giving the help, but we won't ask for help. And so it's a lot of things that I see that we just don't know, we don't understand. And when I come in, I mean, even the people who are seasoned business professionals, or if they've just starting out, they're almost the same, almost the same. And the scariest thing, I think, what people find is a business plan. That's the scariest thing. And they have to realize it's really not. It's really not. Um, Tell you a little bit about me. I've been in business all my life. As a little girl, I played with dolls, and they were my employees. So that's how long it's been.
I love it.
you know. And I love what I do, and I have a passion for what I do. Um, I just think that there is a lack when it comes to women in business. And as I said, we are the nurturers, but we're the ones that's the last people to ask for help. I've made millions, and I've slept in a car. And so what I do is I don't try to take people any further than where I myself have been. So when I'm explaining something or telling you about something, it's because I've done it, I've experienced it, or I've helped somebody through it.
I love that. And that's so super important that you have to know or experience what you're talking about. So that's wonderful. So let's go to kind of the women entrepreneur piece and reaching out for help. What would be your 3 points that you would use to encourage, a woman entrepreneur, even, any entrepreneur, when it's time to recognize where you need help? What are your three kind of main points that you would like them to kind of take away from this interview?
Actually, I think the first one specifically would be research. Because if you haven't done your research and you don't know what to ask, you don't know how to ask for help. You don't know what to ask for help for. So it has to be research of your business. Now, a business could be baking cakes out of your home. That's a business. It can be a hobby, but you can turn it into a business. And the thing is, you have to research what it is that your needs are, where it is you're trying to go, what it is you want to accomplish in your business. And then with doing that, you have to, if you don't know something, you have to understand and know how to reach out and ask for that help. And I think that's one of the hardest things that comes by us. You know, everybody has a passion, but your passion have to have a purpose.
Very, very true. Alrighty, so let's talk about your presentation. What can our I Am Boss 2015 conference attendees expect to learn from you and kind of take away from your workshop?
What I have to start off with is first and foremost is actually getting the mindset. Now, this is not about inspiration speaking or anything. Inspiration. I call my workshops informational, and I pray motivational because you can have the concept, but you have to have the mindset in order to start moving. And so I try to give them motivation. So I try to give things that they can actually use once they leave the conference. It's not just sitting down writing on paper. You know, you can write anything on paper, but actually I want them to understand the ABCs of actually starting a business, actually moving through the concepts, what it is that they need in their business, what is it they're trying to accomplish, and then move on from there. But there are some just certain things that you have to do in the beginning, questions you have to ask yourself that you can never get to the success part of the business.
I think that's a lot, to actually come to terms with that. And you have to know what it is you're doing, in the first place. I always tell people that when I talk to a lot of entrepreneurs, it was always, well, I love shoes, so I need to have a shoe store. And you're like, okay, well, how are you going to grow that business? What are you going to do?
Right.
And for whatever reason, we're just like, I don't know, but it's going to work. And we're just like, well, do you have a plan? The basics that as business consultants and strategists and things that we kind of talk about it and know that we think are common sense, a lot of the average business owner didn't really think that, didn't really
Right.
think of it. And so that's important.
Right. Well, that's where research come in.
Mm-hmm.
You have to just do a little research, and as I say, get your message in front of the market. Well, who's your market?
Mm-hmm.
Because if I'm speaking to you all day long about your business, and you've done a lot, by the way, I'm so proud of you. But if
Thank
I'm just talking about you, well, you already know. You
you.
already know. So you have to have some type of strategy, and you don't have to know everything in the beginning. You don't. And that's why you're here to ask questions or come to workshops or seminars or whatever. But you do have to have some type of structured basis of
Mm-hmm.
what you want to do. And if I ask you, well, how much do you want to make a month? Well, then you need to know how many shoes you need to sell, what's the best wholesale person to get your shoes from. I mean, really simple things. And if I can go back to the business plan for one moment, I have clients who have been in business 5, 10 years and never written a business plan. Now, we plan our vacations,
Mm-hmm.
we plan whatever it is that we need to do. So, and what I try to tell them is, okay, just write something on a piece of paper. Write your thoughts down on a piece of paper. Short-term goals, long-term goals. I mean, something just that simple, and then we can just put it together, but something that simple. But I tell you, you'd be surprised how many people are afraid of a business plan. And yes, there are different types. It's one that we can have and just have right here to look at and kind of, because it's going to always change, but we
Mm-hmm.
can have and we can look at it and we can see whether we're hitting our goals or not. And then it's the type that we have that we're going to submit for funding. So, but let's be able to do this little one here that we just write in a little tablet somewhere, first.
Absolutely. And I'm going to let me see if I can get Ty back on. Ty, are you still with us? I think I might have did something. Hold on. I wanted to do a, let's see if I can get her back on. So I think I ended up, let's see. Let's get this together. Get her back on there. Here, what'd I do? All right, there we go. Ty, you still there with us? Oh my goodness. I'm trying to get this thing together. All right, there we go. So I wanted to just kind of have an open discussion really quickly about the importance of when you're attending an event, that application piece of once you've left. Once you leave even the workshop or not, or the conference as a whole, let's talk about and just kind of share the importance of taking what you've learned and actually applying it, as opposed to just attending. You get a lot of head knowledge and kind of hope for the best. So, and it's just kind of whoever wants to really chime in about that importance and maybe about how to go about that, because I think it's really important that those people who are going to be attending the conference know that you're not just going to get a lot of arbitrary or elusive ideas, that we're going to be providing some action items that you can take with you. But it's up to you at the end of the day to apply those once you've left. So what are kind of your ideas and your thoughts on that whole piece?
I do. I think that the thought process is while they're actually there in the conference with you, is to set some kind of standard of helping them feel motivated. But you can go to a conference, and once you leave out, you have all the energy in the world, you're excited, and you want to go and do it. But we have to put something in place, whether it's back to contacting us or we're in contact with them, just for a little bit, where we can kind of walk them through it, a little bit, kind of, because as you said before, I think sometimes people are confused and they don't know exactly what they want to do. But with a little guidance and planning and prayerfully, we're being motivational enough to say, hey, this is the outcome that you can have if you do this, this, and this. And sometimes it's not that easy with being a business consultant. I can do a whole plan for somebody, and they're still on part one 3 weeks when they should be on part five.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I just me personally, I do try to keep up, and I know we should have a lot of people at this conference can't keep up with everybody, but I would say at least have an open door where they can contact you or somebody in your office.
Absolutely. So Ty, you kind of want to chime in on the importance of actually applying what you've learned once they leave the conference? Did we lose her again?
I can see her, but
Yeah, I can see you too. Oh no.
Okay. Hello.
Okay, we can hear you. Yay.
Okay. Okay. I agree. Kind of on the same wavelength. One thing that I always I make a goal of when I attend any conference or a seminar is that I'm going to connect with someone I don't know, whether it's a fellow member or a speaker, as she said, reaching out to someone that is presenting, and I connect with them while I'm there, get some contact information, and if it's a fellow attendee, we kind of become each other's accountability partners for implementation. Inspiration and motivation is good, but you have to have the action at the end of the day. So having that person that can check in with you that says, hey, like she said, hey, are you still on part one? We're supposed to be on part five. Remember we said, so having someone, I make that goal whenever I attend anyway. I connect with someone that I don't know seminar throughout the conference, and after we have left and we get back home and where it seems like we have a lot to do, that person checks in, whether it's social media, email, phone, whatever that is, we check in with each other and we say, hey, how's it going? So I would encourage all of the attendees, find at least one person at the conference when you August. It can be one of us, it can be a fellow attendee that you can reach out to and have an accountability partner implementing those things that you learned at the conference.
Yes.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah, having an accountability partner is huge. Just be mindful of who you're connecting with,
True.
and because sometimes
Absolutely. Absolutely.
sometimes we're gun ho and we connect with someone and they slack and then we slack and so yeah, definitely
Yes, and they pull you down.
exactly is huge. So I totally agree with that. So ladies, we're getting ready to wrap up here within a couple of minutes, but I just wanted to give each of you, another opportunity. Any lasting thoughts that you want to share? Anything that you want our attendees or future attendees to kind of know about? Just kind of give you guys the floor for maybe a minute and a half each to just really drive home your message and whatever it is that you wanted to share with these lasting thoughts.
Okay, I guess I'll go.
Well,
Um,
I'm
I'm so
a,
looking forward to this conference, and I have a lot. I talk a lot, and but a person talk a lot. You want to be saying something, and so, like I said, I speak with passion, but I speak from my heart, and I speak from experience, and that's what I want you to leave with: the experience and the knowledge that I have that I can put upon you. Um, everybody has a passion, and I've said it before, and that's wonderful to have a passion, but your passion must have a purpose, and you must be persistent in it. And I look forward to seeing everybody at the conference. Love you all.
All right. All right. Ty, you want to wrap up real quick?
awesome. I am excited as well to share and connect with all of you. I love helping other people live out their dreams, helping them connect those dots, that missing link. Sometimes, getting to that next level is just one thing that you're missing, one simple thing that, you didn't know was missing from your business. So I love helping others rebrand and repackage their ideas, but also understand that as a Christian, it's okay for you to market yourself. It's successful. God gave you that plan, that business. He wants you to live well and do well. So I'm just doing my part and living my dream and doing the best that I can to help others. So I'm excited to be able to connect with all of you in August.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, ladies, so much for your time. I do believe that we are going to change the lives of so many people come August, and not just give them head knowledge, but heart knowledge as well, and the tools to apply what they're learning. So I'm super excited to connect with you, ladies. Thank you so much for your time and energy this morning. We'll definitely be in touch, of course. You'll hear from us probably daily now that we're getting closer. But thank you so much for your time. Thank you those of you who've watched. We're definitely going to be in touch. You'll be hearing a lot more about what you can expect from the conference, having all of our workshop descriptions and all of that stuff available to you, because we really want to let you know what you're getting yourself into, and so that you are prepared mentally, physically, emotionally, to really just be impacted for the rest of your entire life. So with that, I want to say good day to you. This has been your Boss Spotlight. I am Tamara Diane, your boss exec, and thank you so much for watching.